Assalamu alaikum, hello, and welcome to On Renewables, the podcast brought to you by the UAE mission to IRENA, that's the International Renewable Energy Agency. My name is Nawal Al-Hosany. I'm the UAE permanent representative to IRENA, and I will be your host for a series of podcasts that talks to some of the most influential people and thought leaders in the fields of renewable energy, climate change, sustainability, and the environment about the issues shaping the world we live in. My guest this episode is one of the Middle East leading figures in renewable energy industry, Mohamed Jameel Ramahi, the Chief Executive Officer of Masdar, Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company. Since joining Masdar in 2008, Mohamed has played an instrumental role in the company's emergence over the past decade, both as a catalyst for renewable energy in the Arab world and as an early adopter of advanced clean technologies at scale in key international markets. Mohamed, thank you so much for taking the time to join us for On Renewables. It's a real honor to host you today. Mohamed, you and I worked together at Masdar before I took up my current role here. So, of course, I'm very familiar with what Masdar does. But could you give me an overview of the company for the benefit of those of our listeners who don't know it as well?
Thank you, Dr. Nawal. Thank you. Our company is also known as Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company. You've mentioned it in the introduction. We were conceived as a company in 2006 to basically advance the development of renewables and sustainable development. Of course, to contribute to the energy mix of the country, and B, to diversify the economy. So I'm proud to say that we have helped position Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, as a global player in renewable energy and, of course, sustainable technologies. Today, I would say comfortably that we are one of the world's fastest growing renewable energy companies. For instance, over the past 2 years, we have been able to double our capacity of renewables energy, investing or committed to invest in project with gross value of almost $20 billion US dollars, and a generation capacity of 10.7 gigawatt, which is enough, Dr. Nawal, to electrify almost 9 million homes worldwide. So if we look at where we are over the past 15 years, or where we have operated more than 30 countries, focusing on, of course, certain technologies, mainly solar, wind, energy from waste, sustainable urban communities, a sustainable real estate with our flagship project in Abu Dhabi, Masdar City, which I'm proud to say it's the home of IRENA, and it is also your home, Dr. Nawal.
Absolutely. And I couldn't be prouder to be based at Masdar City. To your point, what Masdar did to help position the UAE and Abu Dhabi globally is phenomenal. But also, and I think you are being very humble not mentioning, that Masdar did contribute to accelerate the advancement of renewable energy globally and put the debate about renewable energy and sustainability at all global platforms such as the UN. And again, having IRENA here is a testimony to the advancement of the sector here in the UAE, which again, when it started with Masdar. So thank you very much for those highlights. Mohamed, the UAE strategy is a great ambition. It aims to achieve 50% contribution of clean energy to the total mix by 2050. And again, I'm sure Masdar, of course, will play a key role in helping to achieve these targets. Can you please highlight domestically how you are going to help that?
Well, I mean, Dr. Nawal, the UAE strategy, of course, is not just about increasing the share of clean energy in the total energy mix. It also aims to reduce the carbon footprint generation by 70% and to increase the consumption efficiency of individuals and corporates by 40%. Masdar has played a crucial role on both. Since the beginning, we have been contributing to the energy mix by developing clean, renewable energy projects. We started at Masdar City by, if you recall, the 10 megawatt photovoltaic plant at Masdar City. At that time, imagine, Victoria, at that time, that plant was the largest solar PV plant in our region. And I still recall that Abu Dhabi was the first city in this whole region to actually commit to renewable energy target. And that was more than 16 years ago, when renewable was not so competitive. So imagine, Abu Dhabi comes out 16 years ago, announces its commitment to renewables, and it commits to 7% renewable energy target by 2020. And then a year after, Abu Dhabi establishes Masdar, Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company, to help expedite that objective in the country. Dubai, Abu Dhabi committed to a renewable energy target more than 10 years ago, and now we are overachieving these targets. This is a testament for our commitment as a nation. And yes, Masdar was a crucial player, was an accelerator, okay, for both Abu Dhabi and Dubai to achieve these targets. We contributed to Abu Dhabi's targets. We contributed to Dubai's target. And yes, eventually, collectively, we will also contribute to the country's target by 2050. And I can tell you, generation is only one element. If we really want to achieve what we are trying to strive to achieve globally, okay, with the climate change challenge, we need to also focus on the demand side. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency.
Absolutely. And I think you've done very, very well, because that what made Masdar very unique, because it's addressing the full story of what we need as people. You know, you need to look at demand, but you need to look at supply, but also we cannot achieve the highest quality of life that we always aspire to without looking at demand side management. Mohamed, it's a fact now, to your point, that solar energy efforts now became the most affordable methods of energy production. It wasn't the case 10, 15 years ago, but today it is. Renewables are now increasingly becoming the world's main source of power. So how will the energy system of tomorrow, in 10, 20 years from now, look like?
So we believe, obviously, it's clear today, it is evident that renewable energy will take the lion's share of the future in terms of power generation, in terms of the energy mix. So again, solar will play a very crucial role. Wind definitely will also play a crucial role of that future, both onshore, but also offshore. And we will see some elements of floating offshore contributing to the energy mix within certain regions and in certain countries, including, of course, Western Europe, led by the United Kingdom, Germany, but also in the east of Asia, particularly Japan and South Korea. And then, of course, everybody is talking about AI, everybody is talking about digitalization. That is a fact, and this fact will stay with us, and it will also grow to become a contributor to the system as a whole, the energy system as a whole, to manage the system more effectively, to manage the system more efficiently, and yes, to manage the system in a cost-effective manner. So reducing the total system cost by introducing this digitalization, by introducing artificial intelligence, and of course, decentralization. So now, across the world, particularly in developed world, you have an integrated systems, be it on the infrastructure, be it in the generation, be it in the distribution. What we see more and more in the future is decoupling this system and decentralizing this system. But above, on top and beyond on all of this is future technologies. Future technologies are key, and we need to invest more in future technologies. I mean, if you look at, for example, what we are adapting today at large scale, wind and solar, wind technologies or solar technologies has been around for decades. That is the main thing. We see, of course, several technologies that potentially has future. Hydrogen is obviously now, I would say, on top of that discussion. We hear and we see very positive steps towards commercializing hydrogen solutions in maybe power generation, power storage, but also mobility. Hydrogen is, I think, an interesting story. It is a technology or an element that we like. We think that has potential, specifically, again, green hydrogen solutions.
Thank you. So we spoke about opportunities and we spoke about technologies, but in your opinion, what are the biggest issues that you see in the market that need to be addressed to achieve the energy transition?
To be honest, if you asked me this question 15 years ago or 14 years ago, or even 10 years ago, my answer would have been different. My answer would have been, well, you know, policymakers need to create more policies for the adaptation of renewables. They need to really, you know, be committed to climate change. They need to be committed to emissions. And they need to take renewables seriously. Things have changed. You know, everybody, you go, countries, and I think the last thing I've read, you're talking about maybe at least 70 countries, Doctora, have already committed to carbon neutrality. Okay, that's a huge commitment. That's a big statement for any country to make. So again, a lot of things have changed, but do we still have some obstacle down the road? Yes, we do. Capital is there. The issue, how do you deploy capital? I always say money is available right now for this sector. It has never been like this before. Okay, so I believe we have abundance of capital ready to be deployed. Ready to be deployed. The question is, where would that capital go? How do we actually create these opportunities? This is the key. So my point here is creating the opportunities. And I believe with the support of the regulators and the policymakers and developers and investors like us, Masdar, we can create bespoke solutions to allow and accelerate these opportunities. Of course, with the support of agencies like the International Renewable Energy Agency, like the IFC and the World Bank, we are able to do that. So I think this is the main item. Finally, on the challenges, I think, and this continues to be a challenge. It continues to be a challenge in the developed world, and it continues to be a challenge in the not so developed world. Okay, infrastructure. Developed world, we have aging infrastructure. It's not smart. It is not efficient. It is very heavy. That needs to be upgraded. Okay, so infrastructure is key. And in the not so developed world, okay, you have a minimum infrastructure available, thus, okay, reducing the ability for the opportunity. Again, opportunity, but these opportunities will not happen unless if you have the proper infrastructure in place to cater for further penetration of clean renewable energy projects.
Absolutely, I can't agree more. But I guess speaking about issues, challenges, I think in 2020, the story of the year has been COVID-19. The pandemic has had a dramatic impact on global economies. So as a CEO of Masdar, you are in a unique position to shed some light on how this impacted and will continue to impact the growth of renewable energy share in the region and globally. So can you share your thoughts on this topic, please?
Indeed, Doctora, it has been an interesting year, 2020, overwrapped with this COVID-19 situation and health and safety. And let me say, before I actually get to the point of the question, I think the most important thing for us at Masdar is the health and safety of our people. I think that is the most important thing. Health and safety is key. And obviously, COVID-19 had impacted the health and safety of a lot of people everywhere. So again, COVID-19, like you said, it had really impacted a lot of things. And the impact of COVID-19, in my opinion, will continue to be with us in the short term, in the midterm, and in the long term. Why is that? For example, one crucial issue that came out of COVID-19 is supply chain interruption and the centralization of some of these industrial elements, equipment, and material. For us as at Masdar, we were one of those people who definitely got impacted on the supply chain, and the supply, not only supply chain, because some of our main equipments, particularly the ones under construction, main equipments were delayed, but also the movement of our people. So we have special matter experts in solar and wind, and we have projects all over the world. And the fact that the movement was restricted, again, there has been an impact on project delivery. But most importantly, there is always a positive angle, Doctora, on everything. It had a positive impact, COVID-19, on climate change, I would say, particularly on the carbon emissions. We have seen a major reduction on CO2 emission, and that, of course, was coupled with a reduction of power generation from fossils, particularly coal. And we strongly believe that even post-COVID-19, it will never, ever come back to its original levels. In my view, COVID-19 actually accelerated the energy transmission and decarbonization process by at least 2 to 3 years.
Fantastic. And I think because we now understand the serious impact that our behavior have on the environment and climate change, and we know the power that we have to shift things in a positive way. Speaking about the power we have, one of the main movers and shakers of the industry has been Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week and the different platforms of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week since it started. And there is no better way to start the year every time than Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, which is, starting the 2021, hopefully with a message of hope. So I'm sure I am definitely looking forward to it, and I'm sure you are looking forward to it as much as we are all. So for Masdar, what else can we expect to see in 2021?
For us at Masdar, our goal is very simple: to continue our growth and to become a top global renewable energy company. So that is our mission, that is our objective. And 2021 is going to be a very crucial, a very important year in the life of Masdar. Not only we will be celebrating our 15-year anniversary, Doctora, in 2021, in next April, inshallah. But also, I believe 2021 is going to be a pivotal moment for the company. And hopefully you will hear great news like you always hear, inshallah, coming from Masdar.
Inshallah. So the role of a CEO is changing in today's always connected world. Can you tell us about your role and how it changed during your time at Masdar? The expectations on you, and also what does the society needs out of business leaders at this time?
Because it's a unique organization, to be fully honest, this responsibility comes into twofold. And you have hinted that a little bit, I would say. One is to, of course, ultimately satisfy the shareholders' objectives and interests, but most importantly, our community. I think we provide more than just growth and commercial returns. We provide a change. We are part of something unique. We are part of something different. We are part of something extraordinary in a very extraordinary times. Being part of this journey, the journey of change, is special. And I think that is a very important thing for us at Masdar and for what we represent.
Fantastic. But back to you. You have won many leadership awards, locally and internationally. What's your secret? What is the secret of your success as a leader?
The secret is the company that I represent. We are blessed to be, I am blessed personally. I think my whole team is blessed to be part of that journey. So our journey is special, okay? It is not just any other company. It is Masdar. All of us who actually was part of this journey are lucky and blessed because they have been part of something extraordinary, not only for our nation, but also globally. Okay. So I think whatever awards I got personally, it's actually a reflection of what Masdar is all about. So my success is true reflection of the success of the company and the people of the company. I think that's the fact and that's the reality.
Welcome back to Renewables. We are still here with Mohamed Jameel Ramahi, CEO of Masdar. Mohamed, thank you for staying with us. So we've got your fascinating insights into the renewable energy landscape in the UAE and the wider world. But now we would like to bring our listeners a bit closer to Mohamed Jameel Ramahi, the person. To do that, we have some personal questions. If you are happy and ready to answer some of those.
I hope so.
So, great. Here we go. What is your earliest childhood memory?
Wow. Yeah, I think my best memories during my childhood is the memories with my late father.
What is your proudest moment?
I think my proudest moment is when I had my third girl. I was very excited to have my first and my second, but when the third came, I was really, really very proud to have three girls, inshallah.
Allah yakhli lak iyahum ya Rab. What is your perfect escape? Beaches, mountains, skiing?
I'm a waterman. I love the water. I love the oceans. So my favorite escape is definitely the ocean and the beach.
What technology changed your life most and why?
Definitely the technology that changed my world and definitely billions around the world is the internet and the emails. And I still remember the days in the early 90s when this whole thing started. I was still in the US in college. But it really revolutionized everything that we do. It made our life much, much easier.
What piece of advice would you give to your 18 years old self?
Stay out of trouble.
Your one hope for the future?
My hope for the future is health, safety, and prosperity. That's it.
Mohamed, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being with us. It was a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Doctora. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting me to this session. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to On Renewables. If you liked us, subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a rating on Apple Podcast. And if you've got any feedback or questions for any of us at the UAE mission, leave us a comment on our social media pages on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for joining us, and see you next time.